Hey everyone, it is Elsid932 on YouTube. Thank you for joining me today. It is Tuesday. For some, it is a holiday representing Veterans Day. Thank you for all of those who have served, are serving, and who will serve in the future. Even though it's a day of rest for many and remembrance, we are here definitely giving our time to Detroit, okay? Detroit. Detroit, Michigan. We are here to talk about Ready to Love Detroit. We are still going to do our live watch parties, okay? We are going to watch it live together, on the live television that's going on. We will be here, but we're going to cover it because I had some reactions to stuff after the fact. I had some reactions after the fact because I missed some stuff. And production, I'm going to be on your tail, okay? Production, I'm going to be on your tail for this show because I'm sorry. There's some things that occurred that I just was like, somebody ain't watching the scenes, okay? Somebody ain't watching the scenes, and my girls were not shown in some favorable lights in some scenes. I'm gonna have to talk to production, okay? Let's see who's here with us. Hey, Sam, glad to see you. Glad to have you here. Hey, Toya C. Hey, Cross Country Cruise Her. Yes, Detroit is starting off better than Philly. I must say, I'm disappointed because Philly was my joint. I was like, Philly. Philly is the place where my family is. I had ties to Philly, stronger ties than Detroit. I have ties to Detroit, but I had stronger ties to Philly. And Detroit is coming out swinging. When they say, what up, though? It is like, yeah, ain't no other rate of love need to be brought up in conversation with us. That's what Detroit is giving. We are here, okay? It's your first time being here, and we're gonna be here for a long time. Philly was a major disappointment. It was, but I think Philly, it kind of like lost its momentum. I think Philly would have kept its momentum if we were able to continue on with Philly throughout the whole season. Now, I will warn y'all already, Detroit, we starting in November. Y'all know the holidays are coming up. Y'all know that they ain't going to show us some weeks for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. We ain't going to see some things. So let's talk about it. Hey, Miss Mad About Music, okay? But we are still going to be here Friday at 9 p.m. to watch Ready to Love Detroit together, okay? Together while it's live on the television, and we'll chat during the commercial breaks, okay? And thank you for the commenter who told me to put the timestamp so they know when the show actually started, because a lot of people were watching not as we were watching, they were watching after the fact. So I appreciate it. I put that timestamp in, so I'm going to do that for all of them. So let's get to it. Let me get my media asset, y'all, because this is the whole cast right here. Okay. Hey, to go to Africa, glad to see you. This is the whole cast right here. I don't know how I fit them all on a page. I don't know how I fit them all on a page, but they are all here on the screen for you to see, for you to remember who they are, what they said. This is how I'm going to conduct it. Even if I have a guest, I'm going to try and keep their pictures up so we could talk about them, okay? And I'll probably leave them there and change their names to a different color so they've gone or they've left, okay? So let's go through it. So we saw that Bello, okay? We saw that Bello meets Dominique, okay? And he said he's a real estate developer, and she told us she's a celebrity stylist. We also learned that not only is she a celebrity stylist, she is known about the town to be the lady of the fashion. Okay? She is known to be the lady that sets the trend. Okay? And while I was making fun of everything, the boots ain't my jam. I know y'all like fringe on y'all boots. Y'all like the iridescence of it all. But I am a more, simple dresser. So I know I made fun and say majorette, whatever, but it did give me majorette with the bright colors, the bling, and the boots. But if that's your jam, that is your jam. Stand 10 toes down in your jam. But his family name, he says, is synonymous with success. Okay? So he can sit with anyone from politicians to athletes. Anyone he can sit with, he is comfortable. But you seem like you got a little too comfortable with Dominique. Because it seems like every time I'm watching a scene across the way in the background, you, Bello, are hanging with Dominique. That's how it was spliced and diced together. Okay. So Emily walks up. Okay. Emily walks up and she meets Bello. She says she is flamboyant and she loves her diamonds. And when she talks to production, she says she wants someone who's a good time and not sitting around with their ED and looking for a hospice wife. The crew laughs, and I did too. I had a good chuckle. Sound like an interview, not a date? Yes, it did. It did sound like an interview and not a date, Nola darling. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, it did. Emily's like, I'm not looking around for the man that's, soft all the way around and just looking for a hospice wife. She ain't trying to be a hospice nurse. She ain't trying to be your nurse, your purse, or otherwise engaged other than having fun and getting up and going. And I was like, that's right, Emily. You better say it. Somebody got to say it. It's like, I can't be dating you now and be a nurse. Now, if we 10, 15, 20 years in a marriage, sure, I can be your nurse. But not like you date me just so you could have nurse, privileges. She ain't waiting around. She sure isn't, Sam. She sure isn't. So Cardi walks in, and then Donna, and then many others. We saw them walk in. Dominique and Steven talk. Okay, this was a promising conversation. He said he's a teacher, mainly of 7th grade. His mother is etched on a ring around his neck. She did pass away. And he is used to reading books with his mom and playing sports with his dad. And he's excited to do things with his own kids. He's into vintage clothing because I was like, okay, I love that cream sweater that he is. If y'all see Steven is down there. I love that cream color sweater he has. My youngest son, yes, he likes that kind of sweater too, y'all. Don't judge him through me. And that cream color sweater, yes, he loves it. He put that with a shirt and a pink tie. That's my child. That's my child. So, though, when we see his confessional, he has a very loud, cardigan. And I was like, oh, yes, this is the vintage clothing he talking about. I'm not a loud clothes gal. I know some of my listeners, y'all like the loud sweaters with the paint splotches real bright. It could go with anything. I'll give you that. But it ain't my jam. But he does talk with Dominique, and she does take his, he's like, hey, we need to hold hands and walk through here. While she didn't hold his hand, he put his arm up because she hesitated. And Dominique, that's right. Don't let him hold your hand and have the other men thinking that you already claimed by him. But she did grab his arm, and she was acting like a little schoolgirl. Dominique was acting like a little schoolgirl while walking away with Steven. I thought it was really, really, really cute. Hey, Quay, drive safely, okay? Glad to see you. So on a podcast, a couple of the cast members say that he's a thrifter. He did say he's a thrifter. That's what he does with the vintage clothing. He did say it. Now, to go to Africa, y'all know how I feel about this podcast. When you do podcasts early, that means you getting ahead of a story. Okay? I'm hoping it's just an introductory, just a podcast to tell people the show is coming. But when they start talking too early, that means they're trying to get ahead and trying to paint a picture. Okay? Yes, he is a teacher. He is a teacher. He said mainly 7th grade. Okay? So Lauren enters, and then Darius. And then we see Christina, or Ina, who is a songwriter. She says she's around celebrities, and Detroit men are territorial. Where's Miss Pretty Amazing? Where are the people in here from Detroit? Are the men that territorial? She said the men will be like, that's my woman. And they ain't got no ring on it. I mean, Detroit men, come on now. Come on now. Okay? Or the podcast was hosted by Lauren from the show. Okay, I'm going to have to check it out to go to Africa. Definitely got to check that out. But yeah, she's around celebs. Detroit men are territorial. Detroit men, you can't be territorial for something you have not completed the purchase. Okay? And the receipt is the marriage license. You can't be territorial like that. Come on now. Come on now. Can the ladies be territorial with the Detroit men? Y'all know I like turnabout is fair play. Can the ladies be as territorial with the Detroit men? Okay, I'm wondering. Okay. So Christina is talking to Ed, and then Devon comes up and he talks about music. And y'all, did y'all notice that Ed turns away? He turns away to talk to Emily because when Christina and Devon start talking about music, they were locked in. They were locked in. Not Ed was the co-host. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to tell us more so we could find it. Okay. To go to Africa, tell us more so we could find it. So she was talking to Ed. Devon comes up. They were locked in. Ed turned away, talked to Emily. Now, Devon is a project manager at the University of Michigan. Okay. I want to know, manager, what projects? Are you managing the projects of the music department? Because that's a lot of projects. Are you managing the IT? Or are you a project manager that no matter when the university needs a project managed, you're going to do it? I need to know more because project management could be a whole host of stuff. I need to know more. But project management, I'm glad that he said it. I'm glad that it's the same job that the show actually listed him as, because y'all know how they can get creative. You know how they can get creative with all these, names of jobs out here. Y'all know we saw it in Love is Blind Denver, logistical transportation specialist, and he's a truck driver. No offense to truck drivers, but they like to be creative. Just tell us truck driver. We good with that. Okay. But project manager, what are the projects we managing? Now, Lauren does talk to Darius, and she's telling Darius, and y'all see Darius right under here. Okay. And Lauren is up here. Lauren talks to Darius and she says, how do you feel about a tall woman? He's like, you are beautiful. She's like, a tall woman in heels. Y'all, he didn't answer. We didn't hear Darius answer how you feel about a tall woman. He just said she's beautiful. Okay. We just heard you are beautiful. Okay, Darius. And okay. Okay. But he did do a turn and twirl when Lauren asked him to do the turn. But again, Darius likes to be seen and noticed. He, in the circles, he said he's the king. Okay. He's known as the king. Okay. So of course he's going to do a spin. You need to see all of this royalty in all of its splendor. Okay. So when she asked him to give a little 360, he's like, oh, you want to see more of the show? Of course. Let me turn for you. Let me give you the full experience. Put a pin in that because somebody has their own experience up in here. Okay. So he does do the turn for Lauren. Now Ashley comes in and the three of them sit together. Darius, Lauren, and Ashley. Darius said he can be flashy and he's known as the king. He does luxury cars. He's also a fashion designer. And y'all, we see clips of it. He's got, a whole, y'all don't call PETA on him. Okay. He's got a fox, the skins of it all hanging on a throne style seat while he's doing his montage. Okay. And it's a gold seat with some black leather. He going all out for the show, y'all. Okay. He said he also has a catering hall, do weddings and bridal showers. And he looks at Lauren and Lauren's like, why are you looking at me? And he just winks at her and said, yeah, there's a reason. Asking people for a 360 is cray. It's called Access, Lauren. Okay, thank you to go to Africa. I'll go over there and look at it. Darius is going to be a problem. Darius is already a problem. Okay? Darius is already the problem. Y'all ladies, y'all got to tell me the severe ending of his beard right before the sideburn area. That severe, harsh point. I don't know if y'all like it. I don't know if y'all like it, but that's on y'all. Okay? That's on y'all. Darius is a little flashy, wants to be seen, and I wonder if he wants you to pay homage, but that's just me. Okay? So Tommy walks in and he says, the journey begins. Some of y'all gonna go home early tonight. And again, I'm like, geez, Louise, we done told y'all already to love. Stop doing this. Philly had it good. The bottom two for the first mixer could go and meet the next group of mixers and see if they end up on the bottom twice, then they go home. Stop getting rid of people. Y'all, there is a plot twist for that, okay? So Nicole goes and she greets Ed. Okay, y'all see Nicole right under Lauren there. Okay, and Ed is right down here. Now, apparently, they went to college together, and she had a huge crush on him back in college. Ed is like, we never talk. We never talk. Really, Ed? Y'all, this was a flip. For me, this conversation was a flip. I usually am hearing the dude say, "Hey, what's up? What's up? You back in town?" And usually the lady is the one saying, "You never call me. We never talk." Nicole, I would have preferred if you acted like you don't know Ed. I don't know how close y'all were in college, but it didn't seem close. You said he was, having a wild time. You said he was having a wild time in college. And now, he didn't pay attention to you because you were the good girl in college. Okay? So now that Ed has done played the field, spin the block, come around, now no. Nicole, I hope you use Ed to be as much of a vote as he's going to use for you. Hey, Shayna, glad to see you. Glad to have you here, Shayna. I hope you use Ed to be the 1 point, the 1 vote, for each other. Okay? Because I would have acted like I didn't know Ed. College was a while ago. I'm not trying to play games with their ages. They're mid-30s. Most of these people are mid-30s. So a few of them are 40, 41, 42, but most of them are mid-30s. Ain't no way I'm going to act like I still know you from 10, 11 years ago. First of all, Ed would have had to come to where I am. I ain't going after him. I'm sorry. It got to be some mystique. He got to come chase. You got to see the level of interest he even has. And if he came and you're there like, dag, I feel like I know you from somewhere. Now, unless y'all families used to hang out together, you could pull that off. I think I know it. Jog my memory. Where is it? Did you go, did you go here? Did you go there? Okay. Did you? What? I can't quite remember. Don't just jump in letting the man think you know him, remember him, and you still got that crush on him. Come on now, lady. Come on now, Nicole. I got to say it. No. Be careful, Nicole. He may be circling the block due to the lack of choices. Because yes, we need to know he has kids. We don't know how many families he had, how many mothers, how many households those kids are in. We don't know if he's divorced. What happened to those relationships? How did it end? Why did it end? Has he grown, from when he was in college? All of that has to be asked, Nicole. But at least don't be, it seemed the way it is, it seemed thirsty. It seemed like she about him, and he's like, okay, I know you. I want to be with you, but I know you. Shayna says, I don't think he's interested now, and he definitely wasn't interested back then. All he interested in, Shayna, is her vote to stay on long term. That's it. He just wants her vote. Can I get your vote? I'll give you just enough crumbs to keep you still hungry and thirsty. Just enough that when you go into, you'll have my back in the ladies' lounge. You ain't going to let nobody talk bad about me because I'm going to make sure that crush is still running hot. Okay? Y'all, I don't know Ed. Never met this man. This is an edited, produced show, and this is all guessing games, okay? But this is how my mind works, okay? Now, he doesn't look at her in the eye. So to talk about what Shayna said, he don't look like he interested. He wasn't looking at her in the eye much, and he certainly didn't flirt with her at all. At all. He was stating fact. Yeah, I moved about 4 months ago. Yeah. He wasn't flirting. He wasn't, oh, girl, you look good. Oh, what, he was not hitting her with no, flirting game. He did not show any interest that we saw in the clips we saw. Okay. Hey, Rosho, glad to see you. Glad to have you here. He could have said a whole lot more. It could have been a 10-minute conversation where he was having some banter, but the 5, 10, 15, 25 seconds we saw, it didn't look like Ed wanted to go there. Okay. It didn't look like that. So let's continue on with him. He grew up in the inner city, and he said he made it because of prayers, and he was doing this whole, west side, east side. I was like, Ed, you still sounding like the young man from college. Hey, Letitia A, glad to have you here. Yes, Ed, you sounding like you're still the dude from college, but Nicole wants to know this Ed and not the college turn up Ed. Nicole, I'm happy for you, but this Ed may be, a little bit more simmer because maybe the heat of life. But Ed don't seem like he into you. I'm sorry. Ladies, if you come across an Ed, leave them alone or let them come to you. And even if they come to you, wonder why they spinning the block now for the good girl when she was at their disposal before. You better listen to Emily. Emily said, hey, I don't want somebody sitting around here looking for a nurse. Okay? So then we see Vince. Vince says he allows people, Vince is on this row. Vince says he allows people to be who they are. He's lighthearted and a comedian, and he enjoys the gym. Now, when Vince and Lauren were talking, Vince was starting to talk about his kids. And he started off talking, what he does for fun, the gym, the kids. Lauren immediately cuts him off like, oh, you got abs? You got abs? And I was like, Lauren, why are we asking this man if he got abs? He's like, but I got 4. Let's count them. I got 4. The last 2, them was the hardest abs to get. So he was having a good banter with Lauren, and they were having a good laugh and kiki. Okay? And Lauren's like, in case of the zombie apocalypse, I guess you could protect the family. He's like, I could run. Okay? He's saying, Vince, too funny. I could run away from the family. Okay? While y'all are getting handled by the zombie apocalypse, I could run away from the family, is what he said. Okay? They had a good little banter. I do find it promising with them, but I don't know. I don't know if he's just too much of a comedian. Okay? We see Shannon and Devin speaking, and then Ashley walks up. Y'all see where Shannon is? Y'all see where Shannon is? Right over here. And we see Devin. Where's Devin? Daggone it. Where did I have Devin? Devin is in the row below. Okay, row below is Devin. And Ashley walks up. Ashley's over here. Okay, Ashley's right under there by Xavier. Vince was on Lauren's podcast. So far, I really like him. He has a great personality. He seemed to be down to earth. Okay, we'll definitely be going there. Okay. So Shannon and Devin, I said, we're speaking, and Ashley walks up. Ashley says she does non-invasive body sculpting. Devin said that Ashley caught his eye. He said he has no kids, and Ashley wants 1 or 3 kids. 1 or 3. We also get her montage of it's going to take the cash and the dough to date her. Okay? Devin says, so Devin and Ashley sit together. He said he wants 2 because that's what he can afford. He thinks you shouldn't have more kids than you could afford. Devin, that is correct. Don't have more kids than you can actually afford at all. But he said a lot of women in his age group they're dating has kids. That's correct. The men too, Devin, don't act like it's just the women out here having the kids in your age group, okay? The men also have kids, and they don't want kids. Okay, that's true. Women of a particular age, many are deciding, they don't want to have any children. So what actually is the issue, Devin? We didn't hear the whole conversation, so I'm like, why are we bringing this up, Devin? Why bringing this up? Okay. But she does tell him she has a Yorkie. And he said he has strict rules about dogs, but he's kind of allergic to fur. And that's when I was like, oh, you're a project manager. But you ain't the nerd you say you are. Because a nerd like me know a whole bunch of other stuff. I know a whole bunch of information that people are like, why do you keep that stored in your mind? And here's one of them. A Yorkie has hair. It doesn't have fur. A Yorkie has hair. It has hair, not fur. So it is considered one of those dogs that's hypoallergenic. So unless the Yorkie is bringing in pollen into the house, unless the Yorkie is bringing in like the ragweed or whatever into the house, you're not allergic to the dog's fur. The dog's hair. You're allergic to what the hair is carrying back into the house. I was listening to him and I was like, oh no, Devin, you done made it to the bottom of the list for me because you're saying you're allergic to dog hair and you don't even know the dog she's talking about has hair, not fur. I'm sorry. That was just my assessment of Devin. I was like, okay, you could take him out with the bathwater, okay? So she says she's turned off. This is Ashley. She's turned off by Devon's mannerisms. He thinks they're vibing. He's like, oh yeah, we're vibing. We're aligning. It is great conversation. In her confessional, she's like, yeah, it's a no. It's a no for me. She wants a more masculine man. And she she tries to make an exit, y'all. While she's talking to him, she's looking around. Okay, like where can I disappear to get away from him? Okay. He reminds me of a typical minister of music at the black church. He could be. He could be a minister of something. Okay. Because after I saw the clip with Darius telling him he talks too much, I'm wondering the heck that is about. Yeah, that's about Vince. Vince. Yep, we saw that in the preview, and everybody else was agreeing that he talked too much. That's about Vince, y'all. So I would love to ask Ashley, what is the masculine traits she's looking for with Darius? Not Darius, with Devon, because it seems like he just talks with his hands, and he wasn't talking with his hands that looked very effeminate. Not that I saw. It just seemed like he was just expressive with his hands. And though she's like a more masculine man, okay, what does that entail? He can't talk with his hands, deep voice. What does that entail? Because he did not give me in the snippets, y'all. This is an edited show. It's a snippets of like, it didn't give me, effeminate. No time when I'm looking, because I went through again and saw him. What is it? He has all of the mannerisms, effeminate manner. I didn't see that from Devon. Devon's a prime example of how clueless man can be. It's clear that she wasn't interested. Or to go to Africa thinks he is effeminate. Okay. Now it could be, it's not that he ain't masculine. We don't know about Devon and how he was raised. It could be that he was raised with his mom and his sisters, so his mannerisms echo the household he was raised in. So I wouldn't call him effeminate, really. But that's just me. I would like to know more. And if you talk with your hands, I want to know more about why you talk with your hands, why you do what you do. But again, I'm also, a lady that I'm told that I have a masculine way of communicating. So if y'all could see that for Devon, I would leave room for it. I didn't see it that way. Okay. I didn't see it that way, but of course. Okay. Hey, Mimi, glad to see you. Glad to have you here. What's a tap? What's a tap? What are you tapping? Oh, tap the like. Tap the like, certainly, Mimi. I didn't see him as feminine. I saw him as boring and swagless. Quay, even though you typed that, and I'm hoping you made it to your destination safely, even though you typed that, I saw that as shagless. So y'all know where my mind is at with Devon. I agree with you. I didn't see him as feminine. So him as a little boring, yes. And I saw him as shagless. Okay? That's not a category to be in. Oh, it's a limp wrist? I didn't know his wrists weren't limp for me. Okay? His wrists it wasn't very limp. It was very much this. It wasn't this. It was very much, this for me. But that's just, hey, we all see it differently. Okay? You just got home. Glad you made it safely. You're talking about Devon? Okay. Devon. Okay. So she was turned off, as we said, by the mannerism, but I just didn't like when she was like, you need the cash and the dough to date me. Of course. We're not asking for you to date the poor. We're not asking that of you. Okay? I just didn't like she needed to say that outright. Then why are we here with men that you don't know who they're going to pick for you? I didn't think he was being feminine either. Thank you, Shayna. And we love different, we love different levels of conversation here. If you have a different opinion, please let us know. Okay. Hey, Just Rhonda 01. Y'all, Just Rhonda 01 is also covering this show, as well as the Married to Medicines, the Love and Marriages, the Housewives of the Everywhere and Around, and the, all in between. And the, what is it? The ladies that come, and the ladies that are making sure that this show is at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock. Okay. Thanks, Rhonda, for being here. Yes, Devon. Yeah, we're talking about Devon. Yeah, I agree. Don't be worried about anyone's pockets. Just see what he can and want to do and take it from there. Right. Exactly. Take it from there. So we see that Dominique, Carde, Bello, and Emily at the bar. Y'all, I saw this moment, but I didn't hear everything when we were watching live. That's why this recap is good. So Dominique down here, Carde up there with Bello, up there next to Lauren with Bello, and Emily right below, right there, Emily right there. They are talking, and hey, Diamond finds that Carde is young. She's like, hey, you young. And Bella says, you know, his age as well. And Emily's like, oh, you young too. I'm a cougar in this group, and I like it. And Diamond is like, me too. And Bello is shocked. If y'all see Bello's face, he is shocked that the ladies are, you know, older than him. Hello, everyone. I found Devon more socially awkward than anything else. Welcome in, Bluebell. Unless your name has changed, this is your first time here. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. Yes, he socially awkward is a great way of saying it. Definitely. So, talking about Dominique, Carde, and Bello, I know y'all going to ask me. Okay. I know y'all were going to ask me. Dominique, they say is 42. Emily is 44. Carde is, you know, Carde's name is different than what it is. Carde is 36 and Bello is 37. Okay, so that is the age group, the age difference the ladies are talking about. That ain't an age gap enough, Emily, for you to be saying cougar. Okay, maybe a puma, but it ain't full cougar. Okay. Then we see Darius and Ashanti. We find out that she is a vegan chef. She says men tell her she's beautiful, she's sweet. So what's the catch? And she said the catch is her tongue can be sharp. Now, ladies, we understand Ashanti. We know what's going on with her. We know exactly what's going on. Her tongue can be very, very sharp. Okay, her tongue can be sharp. Definitely sharp. So then she says she's a mother. She loves to travel. He said he was raised partially in Germany. Okay. Perfect. Where does she love to travel? This is where she disappointed me. She said Miami. I said, really, Miami? This man's talking about he was raised partially in Germany. You're going to tell me Miami? Have we been to any international locations? Or production, are you being real shisty and cutting out the international location she talked about and you just kept the Miami piece in? But she says, hey, with being a vegan chef, she certainly, you know, Miami's a great place for her to be able to go and eat to her heart's delight as a vegan. Okay, I'm happy for her. But if this, I would like, you know, I would like Ashanti, please step forward. Please step to everyone, Ashanti, and let us know what's going on. Okay, because let us know that they played games with you while he said Germany and they let you say Miami. Okay, please let us know that they playing games with you. She might as well have said Nebraska. She might. She might. If it was production, they're wrong to do that to her. Not the restaurant and say Miami's international. It got an international airport. It does, but it's not international. If I don't need my passport to get there, it ain't international. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, just Rhonda 01. International cuisines, but it ain't international. But you know what? They could have cut it. We ain't gonna put too much pressure on production. They may have cut it down because, you know, they were having a longer conversation. We could only take snippets and have 1 minute with them talking. Then we see Richie and Emily go sit down. Okay, he goes and gathers Miss Emily to go sit down, and she says she does enjoy skating, and she finds his Playboy tattoo on his wrist. He said he starts to stutter. Okay, and then he said he used to be a Playboy, but it's really a nickname for his brother. Yeah, don't believe that excuse. I'm sorry. Okay. So then she tells him she won't get on the bike with him. She won't skydive with him because she was like, you would be somebody who skydives. She don't do roller coaster. She don't do none of that adrenaline stuff, okay? And he said he can make her do things she didn't think she would do. And I know, Richie, you were thinking you were suave, you were debonair, you were saying, "Hey, girl, I can get you to do things you wouldn't even think about doing in your life. Trust me." I'm sure you were thinking that, and Emily gave him absolutely not. Emily was like, "Absolutely not, not at all. Don't even go there, okay? You ain't gotta lie, Craig. You ain't gotta lie." Hey, Felicia H. Finally home, tapping in the chat. What up, doe? Yes, what up, doe? Yeah, Emily told Richie, heck to the no. Absolutely not. I wanted to see, I think it's only the time they were talking about cougars that I saw Emily really laughing. You know, Emily had a very resting face. Okay? Very resting face. Yes, Emily would eat him alive. She would eat him all the way, gobble him up. Okay? He wouldn't understand what happened to him. He wouldn't understand what happened to him. He will be all dizzy. Now we do see Donna and Vince. We see Donna and Vince talking. She walks up to him. She's a mathematician. Yo, that's my soft spot. I was initially a math major in college. So I got a soft spot for Donna, but I got some things to say. Donna, my girl. Okay? Okay, my girl. The posture wasn't posturing. The posture had me like, where's the confidence? Where's the, where's the confidence? Where's the, all this? Because Donna is a beautiful woman. And I was like, oh. Yes, Emily is in the blue dress. She's up here. Oh, sorry. She's up on this line up here with Nicole Shannon. Yes, Emily is the blue dress. Emily didn't want to play with. Yes, she didn't want to play with. Yes, unfortunately, y'all, Richie did pass from a tragic motorcycle accident. Thank you to those of you who did send me his service announcement. Yes, unfortunately, he did pass. His service was in May of this year. That unfortunately, but we will go along as he is in the show and speak about what we saw on the show. Okay. But yes, that is what the information that was given to me. So yes, continuing with Donna and Vince talking. Vince said he can't do much algebra and she's a whole mathematician. And she says she's into data, she's into statistics, and how she views the world makes it so that men are found out. I said, how, Donna? Are you going searching? Are you going looking for stuff? How do they get found out? Like statistically speaking, if you take 10 minutes longer getting home from work, you could be cheating. I need to know how Donna mind works. I need to know how it is processed. How does she get the statistics of it all and all of the data? Because she said it's about data. I need to know how Donna processes this data. But Donna, first, I need the posture. I need a posture. You look good. You're in that slanky black dress. And I needed you to take over the room, Donna. Okay? Need to take over the room. She does seem like a nice lady, but she does seem tick, tick, boom, Mimi. Donna does seem like, here's the thing. Donna said the men gonna be found out. Donna said, I'm gonna find out what you up to. But here's the other thing, Mimi. What she do with that information? How did she present it to you when she finds the information? Because Donna's giving me, I got the information. I'm going to print it out and I'm going to throw it at you when you come in the door. Okay? I'm going to throw that whole folder of evidence that I have. I'm going to slide it across the table. Okay? Yeah, sorry to hear about Richie. Her being a mathematician was super smexy to me. Yes, for the Black excellence. Yes. Mimi, you didn't like statistics in school? I understand. I used to teach statistics to middle and high school students who didn't really understand it. The trick with statistics is bringing it to something in life. So when I used to teach the kids statistics and probability and statistics, I used to find out what they like. If they like Skittles, we would use that for the Skittles bag. We used to count out the Skittles, how many colors, put it back in the bag. What's the probability of you pulling a red, of you pulling a green? So it will click for them when they go and do things as far as statistics, it will click because it's on something they know. Or we do dice games. That's the thing with math, and that's how I learned math. I found a teacher who made math click on my level, and then I was able to transfer it to others. But that, again, Donna, I have a soft spot for you. Don't make me be harsh about this soft spot for you, girl. Just stand up a little bit, let the girls, lead you. That way your shoulders are back. But you are a beautiful young lady. I agree. She seems like a down to earth person. She does. She does. That would work for me. I'm very food motivated. Quay said the teachings would work because she's food motivated. It could be anything, Quay. Whatever is motivating for you is how I would do it. Like the kids that I knew that knew about cards and dice and dominoes, we would do it with those. It's just a matter of finding your niche or your avenue. So going back to there, Donna and Vince are still talking. He asked her, what has landed you here, not in a relationship? She does give an eye roll. So we already know Donna ain't got to say nothing to give a little spice. It's like, oh, golly, I done heard this before. Do you have another line? But anyway, she goes with it. She said in her 20s, she would stay in the wrong place too long and trying too long. Vince said, hey, since you're a mathematician, you should have known better. You should have done the numbers. You should have run the numbers. I said, Vince, this is where you're not going to be enduring to the ladies, okay? You don't have to one-up her. You don't have to show her failings, okay? She knows she failed. She knows she failed. Don't have to show it to her, okay, Vince? It's like, you should have known you were staying there too long. Dude, you can't even do algebra. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Okay? You said you can't do algebra. Then Donna continues and said that 30s were a time to heal and get herself together, and she has no kids. Okay? Now, Donna, when you're doing that statistics and you're trying to find all the stuff that he's doing and you're trying to... How healed are we, Donna? How healed are we, Donna? Because I'm still hearing a little bit of tick, tick. The boom ain't here. But the whole roll of the eyes, I was like, ooh, yeah, Statistics was the only class that terrified me in grad school. No, I despise hearing people say that because I'm like, there's a way to teach it. There's a way to teach it for folks to get it. And I don't like hearing people afraid or despised or terrified by math. I really don't like it. Right before this, I was going over some math questions with my eldest. He has an exam coming up. So we were going over that, and it's a matter of the way his brain clicks is different. So how he sees it is a little bit different. So I have to talk to him a little bit different. And it's like, that seems a little bit odd to me. But if you get it and you get the right answer and it works statistically speaking, if it works, hey, okay. You spent a lot of time with the TA? Yeah. I didn't want to be a TA because it was too strict for TAs. So I would just tell folks, hey, I'm going to be over there in room so. If y'all want to come, I'm over there. And the teacher, co-signed it. The teacher said, hey, that's fine. That's fine. So I would be over there, and whoever came into the class, we would go through the homework and everything. And the calculator to use for statistics. The graphing calculator, I used to graph by hand. That's how I grew up. But then once you learn how, it's just like a computer. You learn what to put in, then you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Don't trust me. If we were together, you wouldn't be fearful or terrified to go to Africa. I'd have had you back, okay? I'd have had you back. So we see that Carde and Diamond, he does say Diamond has a nice smile. His brother is named Diamond. His sisters are named Ruby and Jade. And I said, okay, what gemstone are you named after, Carde? Because that your real name is not a gemstone I have heard of. Is Liddell. Okay, his name is Liddell and he goes by Carde. Okay. So I don't know what happened to the gemstone names at that point. So he brings up that an experience that he's an experience when dating. Now, Cardi, here's my thing. What is the experience? Why is it called an experience? How many people have had this experience? And what is the market rate of this experience? I didn't like it. It was giving me not a whole ick, but a little bit of an ick. What is it? I'm an experience. Okay, it sounds like buying tickets for a ride. It sounds like buying tickets for a ride. And how many people have had this ride? How many people have been through this amusement park? I'm sorry, it's not sounding, it sounded icky. I'm sorry, it sounded icky to me. Okay? Now, Diamond tells us that she's on the do not date list. Okay, Diamond, I'm gonna need more information. What do not date list? How did you get on this list? Who told you? And how many people nominated you for this list? This do not date list. Is it do not date? Let's give it a benefit of the doubt. Is it do not date because you ain't taking their foolishness and you about your business? Is it do not date because, hey, once they step into you, Diamond, they better come with a diamond because you are dating with intention. So don't play with you. Or are you on the do not date list because we a little too spicy? We a little tick, tick, boom. But the only reason I give her more of a benefit of the doubt is because Diamond is a lawyer. And I don't think she's going to do too much to end up with a complaint at the state bar. I don't think Diamond going to be doing way too much. I think she may be a little bit of, I ain't doing this or I ain't doing that. Why you better do this. I think she's a little more, maybe she could be a stage 5 clinger. We don't know. I need to know exactly why. Emerald, you think he could be Emerald? Okay. She does look spicy. She looks spicy. Diamond looks spicy. And she looked like they both friend zoned each other. It's like, oh, hope you found what you're looking for because it ain't here. I heard that. She didn't say it, y'all, but I heard that when she's like, oh yeah, I hope you found what you're looking for. It ain't here. Move it along. Move it along. But I will be keeping my eye on Diamond for sure. Then we have Vince, Devin, Shannon, and Dominique. Now, Devin compliments Dominique's tattoo. Vince mentioned, oh, I see a couple names in that tattoo. Maybe she just wanted them gold plate face, his gold braids. Oh, Cardi. That color was growing out, dude. I'm going to need you to make it one color. So when Vince mentioned that he sees some names in the tattoo, Dominique says it's her 2 exes. The last one, it was 16 months ago. So he said, I'm going to call that a fresh relationship. You fresh out. We find out they were pro athletes. I'm not even going to name their names because they are not relevant to the topic of this show. Okay. Other people will tell you who they are and they're named in the show. Even their pictures are put up. But Vince feels like he can't measure up. Already. He can't measure up. Vince, there's a reason why they're exes. I understand why you may feel like you don't measure up, but do you have to? Did Dominique say she's looking for someone exactly like those exes? She hasn't. Can you have a conversation? So he asked where the other one is covered up, and she said, you won't have to see it. Now, the only spice I have for you, Dominique, is why do we have the shoulder tattoo where it is a cover-up of an X? Why do we have that exposed? Yes, you are a fashion maven, and the out shoulder is it. It is gorgeous, color, beautiful, everything. Why did it have to be out? For someone to even see, glance, it could be the lighting because, again, the underlying tattoo is fading. It could be the lighting. It's different kinds of ink. If you don't go back to the same tattoo artist, it could be a different tone of ink. There's a way for this to still look like you could see the names. Okay. He was doing too much. Vince was acting and she was on the witness stand. Ma'am, exhibit A, your shoulder. What's the names that's there? Okay. I will treat you like a hostile witness, ma'am. Who name is that? You're right, Mimi. He was acting like she was on the witness stand. But you know what? She said he ain't gonna see that second tattoo. So she's like, Vince, you ain't it. You ain't it. Then we see Steven and Christina talking. She says that her favorite artist, she is her favorite artist, and Whitney Houston. Because I was like, girl, you better come up with another artist other than yourself. Okay. So he does say that he writes songs and he does sculptures with kids, and she talks about incorporating music and arts in education. So, in having, what does she do for fun? She goes to bars that her friends own, and all I heard was free drinks. All I heard was, I ain't got to pay the tab. Okay. But we don't know her. We don't know her friends. She could be one of those good friends that, hey, you have a business and I wish to patronize your business, and I'm just going to pay my way. You can give me a little discount, but I am going to pay for services rendered. If y'all believe that, y'all certainly put it in the chat, but I don't believe it, even though I said it. Okay. So she goes to the friends, bars, or a concert, and the concert has got to be VIP or on stage, because she does not do the general population. She don't do general seats. She don't sit with the rest of us. She don't do that at concerts. That is beneath her. That's the way she said it, y'all. She didn't say it's beneath her. She just said it like that. Like, oh, I don't hang with peasants at concerts. I don't hang with general population ticket holders. I'm on the stage or VIP. It's giving me a little too much, Christina or Ina. It's giving me a little too much. A little too much. A little too much. So Steven says, he would prefer a chill life. And she seems like she's about the clubs, going out. And of course, he understands that she has to promote her music as well. So at least Steven is like, I realize I ain't going to have a chill life with this woman. I didn't like this girl either. She acted like everyone was beneath her. She did. She's a beautiful girl. And then she had the nerve to say, not everybody can handle this level of pretty. Christina, y'all, that's from Diary of an Angry Black Woman. Christina, I need you to pour a little bit of that self-confidence, the overflow of that self-confidence. I need you to pour a little bit of that and give Donna the sip. Okay, I need Donna to take a little sippy sip of that. Okay, let's not forget the amount of beauty she speaks of, girl, please. Hey, Lydia A, glad to see you. Glad to have you here. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're talking about Christina. I don't know. Every time I hear the name Christina, I think of Diary of an Angry Black Woman. Remember, Christina is, who was taking care of the ex-husband, and she would yell out, she left. She took all your stuff and left. That's when I hear that name. I always think of her tone of voice when she's yelling out that name. So, Stephen, I'm glad you're self-aware, that you want a chill life. You're a 7th grade teacher. You just want to have a great time with the lady love that you're going to have kids with, and the kids that you are mentoring, and you want someone to be able to go vintage shopping with. Stephen seems to me as chill. Okay? Stephen seems real chill. Now, is he going to stay chill? We don't know. The Ina girl? Yes. The Ina girl. You can't handle this level of pretty, Lydia. You can't handle her level of pretty. Okay? Yes, she's full of herself, especially at concerts. Okay? Especially at concerts. Okay? So, Chris walks up to Emily. Okay? Chris walks right up to Emily, and he takes her hand. And I was like, Chris, come get your lady. Because I was like, why is Chris on the fringes? On the fringes. To go that she's in Motown. She has a lot of connections with folks in the music industry. Okay. All right. And you can say, usually when I go to concerts, I make sure that, I'm in VIP. You don't have to say you don't have to be, oh, I can't be in the jet. You don't have to say what you can't do. You can just say, oh, I prefer VIP when I go to concerts. That ain't making people sound like peasants at all. You could stop right there. People say too much sometimes. Like I say too much sometimes, okay? But I love how Chris walked up to Emily while she was walking through the room, and he cut her off, and he said, hello, lady. I said, yes, Chris. I love that approach. Now, y'all may not like that approach, but I prefer an approach, and I prefer the confident approach. Chris came, Chris is a chef. We find out. We also find out, they're telling us Emily is a seamstress for the Detroit Pistons cheerleaders. What they didn't tell us, and she had to tell us, she's also a teacher for 9th to 12th grade. Emily, you are doing the Lord's work. You are a high school teacher. You know what it is. You know what it is. High school, ooh, is a challenging time to have to wrangle 18 to 20 kids in one class. Wait a minute, Emily. But I'm glad we learned she's also a teacher. I wonder if she and Stephen would find any common ground. Okay. I wonder if she and Stephen would find any common ground. But she's talking to Chris right now. Chris says he is a chef. He's opened many a successful restaurant in downtown Detroit, and he is still opening more. I need to know people who have gone to his restaurants. I need to know. Okay. I need to know. I think I've seen Chris on some cooking shows. Maybe he does look familiar to go to Africa. He does look familiar. Like he's done not a long standing cooking show, maybe a cooking show that different people come each time. Chris does look a little familiar. How she puts them fangs away when she goes to work. I know what she was trying to say, Quay. Yes, I'm sure she puts them away, but it's only so much away they can be. Okay. They may be, be tied down, they may not be, voluptuous as they are. They may not be looking like coming out like you just, bust open the side of the can of biscuits. But again, the Lord know why he made me a woman, because I would be flirting all the time with Emily. The woman is gorgeous to me. I'm sorry, y'all. The woman is absolutely gorgeous. Her choice to show her décolletage throughout the whole thing, I think she was testing people. I think she was testing the men. And to see, are you going to look here or lower here? I think she was testing them to see what are you going to pay attention to? Because somebody said what they were paying attention to was all they saw were eyelashes and cleavage. And I think that is what she was doing. I know you're not body shaming. No. Here's where my disappointment is with Emily. I wish Emily wore a design that she created. I wish Emily wore a dress that she created, because I am sorry. She says she likes flash when she was in that confessional with her pink sleeves. Okay. With her pink sleeves. I said that is probably a dress she created. I wish she wore that. I just want her to showcase herself and her designs. A seamstress would know how to wear something more flattering. I don't think the men were impressed. They weren't impressed, but was it for their impression, or she wanted to test them? She probably didn't want to impress them. Okay. She said the cleavage was at eye level. She's a shorter lady. It can't be eye level unless the man is short. But they were at eye level for some, especially if we sitting down and they raise a little bit more. Hey, I love it. I wish she smiled more. She had a scowl on her face each time I saw her. She smiled at Cougar Town when they were standing by the bar. But I do wish she smiled more, but it could be where they caught her, that she's always, and some people, I have a girlfriend, and yes, she is Sagittarius too, like Emily, where in order to concentrate on what you're saying, she's not going to smile. She's concentrating. She's absorbing. She's listening. And she can't do that and smile at the same time. She'll listen to you, and whatever you say something funny, she'll laugh. And then if we go back to talking, her face gets serious again. So I'm not saying I don't know Emily. I'm just giving her some grace, okay? That maybe that's how they caught her, okay? She softened up a little bit with Chris. She did, because like me, I think Emily loved Chris's approach. Chris came on his grown man stuff. Hey, lady, can I talk to you? Again. I think that's why she softened up on him. They're going to pick up Emily on the screen now. Yes, and she knows about taking her photos to keep her chin down. She knows to keep her chin down, okay? Keep her chin down. So, Emily says she work has allowed her to meet several people. But she just works and sews. Okay? She just works and sews. Based on what we saw, I understand why she's on the bottom. See, to go to Africa, then telling you what happened. Hey, when in Rome. Hey, sis. What am I yapping about these people? Okay, we yapping about Chris and Emily. Okay, I know you got something to say. When in Rome. Okay, y'all. When in Rome likes to act a little bit out there. She has a lot to say. Certainly welcome her to the group. Emily just works, works, works. And I understand if she's the seamstress for the Detroit Piston cheerleaders, she got work to do. Lots of work to do. But she hasn't left time. She hasn't left enough time for her to meet other people. She works, and so we do hear that Chris has been married before. How many times? How many times? But yet she got mad at Xavier in the exclusive clip because he said he works a lot. Because she don't like him. She don't like that man. And speaking of Xavier, let's get the next scene was Xavier and Lauren. Xavier said, he tells us he was born and raised in Detroit. Okay. I didn't hear about travel. Where have we been other than Detroit? Chris and Emily have the same pose here. They may be a match. You are so wrong. Emily has a bad attitude. I want to see her without that makeup, girdle, and wig. So when in Rome says she wants the whole can of biscuits out. Okay, that's fine. But you know what? You got to earn it. I'm going to tell you like Xavier told Lauren, you got to earn that when in Rome. Okay. So while he said he was born and raised in Detroit, Lauren does ask him to do a little spin because she asked Darius to spin and Darius did it. She also asked somebody else to spin, and I want to say it's Rob, and he did it, but I can't quite remember. It's either Rob or Vince. And he's like, yeah, you got to earn that. And Lauren was turned off. He's like, how bad do you want this spin? And I was turned off too when he went there. I said, okay, sir, it's fine if you had said that she got to earn it. I don't like it. Okay. It's like, I got to do stuff in order to get crumbs from you. You're not just going to do something that I ask you to do. Okay. We just met. That's fine. But when you add, how bad do you want it? Oh, no. How bad do I want to walk away? I do. I want to walk away. I like Xavier's voice so far. That's about it. Yes. The lights will have to be turned off. And if y'all have seen Boomerang and you saw Marcus's time with Lady Eloise and she turned the lights out and he asked for her to make it darker. Yeah, I'd have to be in that scene. Because again, his voice is absolutely made for radio. But that about it. Emily's pretty, but she just reminds me a bit of a drag. I think that's what we've seen of her. I think once she meets someone like Chris, she has more time with him. I think it definitely we'll see a softer side to Emily. That voice, he seems to have a nice body. I love a calm demeanor. That calm, when in Rome, you going to do stuff to earn it? When in Rome, you going to do stuff to earn it? Yeah, it seems like she asked every man to spin because remember, she said she's a large lady. Okay, she done had these grown babies because it sounds like it's a bit weird to me. I think it's power struggle. She just wanted to see what if the men would do for her. And if he will do for me is, I may have, maybe you can't handle all this pretty. It's what Lauren is giving. She shouldn't have asked that man to spin. It's very feminine. Spin or turn around. She said, I want to see the whole outfit. Yes, Quay, Marcus, darling. Okay, yes, Marcus, darling. Lady Eloise, some ladies retain a girlish quality. Okay, drag queen. Okay, she's already a big woman with a big personality. She has to calm down. Does she? Okay, when in Rome. Okay. Yes. Okay. Maybe she needs to calm down. Maybe I need to calm down too. Okay. Maybe. So Xavier is wiping his head, his whole bald head. And she's like, yeah, keep it dry. And I said, oh, Lauren, are you telling him that you are dry? I'm sorry. Lauren, are you telling him you are dry? That he ain't, the only thing wet around here is your bald head? I had Mr. Elson cracking up laughing. He's like, that is not what she said. I said, but the innuendo is there. Innuendo was there. Didn't she comment on that when she was commenting in Kojo's chat? Yes. Kojo, y'all, is Little Black Book 91. Lauren was in there. And I forgot who else was in there. Can't remember if it was Ashanti or Ashley was in there as well. But yeah, she did agree that it was a matter of control when we were in the Saturday at 7:30 or 8 p.m. She did say it is a bit of control. See if she could get you to do what she, requests. So yeah, she is aware of what she's doing. It was Ashanti. Okay, thank you. I couldn't remember. Oh, somebody say Ashley. Okay, I couldn't remember who it was. I'll probably go back and listen to it and see who was there. But yes, definitely. Definitely, the ladies were in the chat. I don't know if the men were there. If they were, they didn't say anything. I don't know if it was so messy over here. My first time catching it live, and I love it. When in Rome, you know I'm a little messy. Okay, I'm a little, just a tad, just a little bit. And we watch it live, y'all, on Fridays. We watch it together live, and then I'm doing this more in-depth recap for those of us who watch it live and just get a good kiki, and we just watch it together while I do have a live on Friday. Also, when in Rome, if you really want it really messy around here, go watch Unsolicited Advice. That's where I pull the questions from Reddit and other parts of the internet, and we give them the unsolicited advice. It goes from, oh, I can't stand the person's body odor, all the way that they can't satisfy me between the sheets. We cover all topics, okay? And if you really want to get down and dirty, the membership. Member Mondays, members feel free to let people know you enjoy yourself, and it's a good old dirty time in the membership, okay? But definitely around here on Fridays, especially too, we have Unscripted, where I talk about any and everything the chat want to talk about. Any and everything the chat want to talk about. So yes, when in Rome, okay? Yes, when in Rome. So far, I'm not a fan of Lauren or Christina. Emily, I'm on the fence about. Okay. Are you still doing lives with Jay and Rhonda? Our schedules aren't matching. Our schedules are definitely not matching. That's why we're not doing the lives together. And I'm usually in Rhonda's chat saying, like and subscribe, but I'm usually in bed by the time Rhonda's doing her lives. That's why I do my lives at about 5 o'clock, so I could be done by then. And Jay's schedule, we just can't get Friday at 9 is a little bit late. The show goes from 9 to 10. That means then the live is going to have to be 10 and after. And as soon as I finish watch it live with everybody, I unplug and I'm done. It would just be way too late for all of us to gather, and we have stuff to do on Saturday morning. So that's what it is. But yes, when in Rome, come around, take a look around. Take a look around. You'll see. Okay? You'll see. I wouldn't tell you how messy it gets. You're going to have to go look. So we see Carde and Shannon. He is nervous talking to Shannon. And, it's not talking. He's not talking well with her. He's stuttering. Then he stops mid-sentence. He doesn't know how to finish. And he talks about the location of where they are. I said, dude, this girl got you tongue-tied. Shannon is a beautiful woman, and she's wearing the heck out of that dress. And yes, I know Kojo said stuff about the pearls, but I think that is her way of saying her affiliation with her sorority, because she's wearing it with the scrubs too in her detail video. Okay, so I'm like, yes, I could understand, Carde, why this woman would have you a little bit tongue-tied, but she says it's awkward, and it's like pulling teeth talking to him. That's what you don't want, Carde. Where's the Carde experience? Is this it? Is the Cardi experience what we just saw with Shannon? Because if it ain't, then most of the ladies ain't buying a ticket for that ride at all. I'm sorry. So Rob allows we see Lauren to check his abs when she asks if he's still in the gym, if he's still boxing. If y'all know, Ed Sport is boxing. So he opens up his jacket and she's like, don't show me, but he lets her feel his abs. It's Ed I was talking about. Now, Bello, I see, is constantly talking to Dominique, and he says he co-parents with the mother of his child. And Dominique is like, you better be if you here. Don't be playing games with us, okay? Okay? The tongue tie of it all was hilarious. He needed to be knocked off his high horse. Yes, that experience. Exactly. Carde is giving nothing, and I don't like the hair. Don't like it, Lydia. He needs to get that blonde out. It seems like he dyed it all blonde, and now it's growing out, and it just ain't doing it. Okay? Why did her mom spell her name like that? Trying to be cute. It's definitely pronounced Shannon. Shan and not Shan. I know it's weird, but hey, some people it's spelled differently and said differently. I would have said Shannon, but I don't know. I see them saying Shannon, so hey, I'm gonna say Shannon. Bello has kids. Hey, that's who she was talking to with that full whole beard. Okay, that's who she was talking to, and he was talking about co-parenting. So when Tommy comes in, he pulls the ladies and the men separately. The lady said the guys that gave good impressions were Darius, the King. Okay, don't forget Darius is the King in Detroit. Darius, Vince, Carde, Ed, Bello, Steven, and Chris. The ladies that left a good impression on the men are Nicole, Shannon, Donna, Lauren, Christina or Ina, and Ashley. And Tommy's like, no, Christina. They're like, no, 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 she likes Ina. And he's like, why would you get rid of half your name? That airbrush beard. We have quite a few airbrush beards. I shouldn't say quite a few. At least two. Darius got an airbrush beard along with Bello. But Darius got the severe cut into a severe, point to the end of his beard. Okay. Detroit is fine. Detroit is fine. Y'all, I really thought Philly was giving, a few of them. Okay. And I have different tastes. I thought, but Detroit, I don't have to ask Whatupdoe. I'm seeing it. Detroit, the men here are fine. Carde just need to get his hey together and he'll be fine. Okay. Bello, my fellow Nigerian. I'm gonna show him some love. Okay. Hey, everybody needs someone to show them some love. I don't like Bello's beard. It's taking up half his face. It looks like too much. Okay. It's taking up half his face. Bello isn't airbrushed. It just dyed jet black. Darius is completely airbrushed. Y'all, Darius is right here. The whole hairline airbrush. I don't know. It's a severe color shave for Darius. But he the king. He the king around here. And Bello is Bello is up here. Bello is up here next to Lauren and Carde. The other men look natural. Their beards look natural. Okay. And I have no problem with a natural beard. Darius too pretty for me. I would be fighting over the mirror, closet space, and bathroom time. Girl, would we? He would have his own. We wouldn't be fighting over it. Yours will be down the hall, and his will be off the master suite because he the king. Okay, Quay? You're not gonna be fighting for mirror space, whatever. No, ma'am. Your clothes are in maybe a separate room down the hall, but he got this here. Or his may be down the hall, but he got a whole wing. You ain't got to worry about fighting him for closet space, bathroom time. He gonna have his own bathroom. Okay? Quay, you ain't got to fight him over nothing. Okay? You ain't got to fight him over nothing. King of tacky, I love it. Don't call Peter on him. He had that fox. He had that whole fox hanging over the side of his throne. Hanging over the side of his throne. He had that whole fox. Don't call Peter. Every man can't have a beard as smexy as Frankie Beverly. Okay, some people like those beards, some people don't. Hey, I just whatever the level of beard you have, I just need you to be able to work it and groom it properly. Whatever the level of beard, goatee, whatever it is, I just need it properly groomed and you're looking as good as you can be. You don't have to dye it and all that. But the men that also had, it wasn't that severe. The men most of their facial hair, because I'm gonna ask Carde to go get that a little bit tightened up. But however it is, it's perfectly fine. So the ones that got a bad review, here's what happened. Devon got a bad review. They said he came with his Bible study clothes. I said no. No, ladies, no. Richie, they said he was too skinny and that Playboy tattoo. Somebody said it might hurt him. Okay, because he's too skinny. And ladies, I need y'all to stop saying that. Stop. Don't pass up. Don't totally discount the skinny dudes or the dudes that are a little bit shorter. Don't discount them. Because the shorter the man, closer it is to the ground. I'm just saying. I'm just giving you that little bit of advice. And the skinnier the man don't mean that he can't handle all of your goodness. I'm just saying. Okay? Because you would see sometimes, people, you just don't understand how it works. But hey, physics is a beautiful thing. But we see, as we said, Devon is a Bible study clothes. Richie is too skinny Playboy. Vince, he can. He read through the cover up was the bad part. Okay, bad part. Xavier, they say he tripping on a turn. Lauren is like he tripping on turning for me, so she ain't about that. Now, the ladies that got a bad review was Emily. They say she was uncompromising. Dominique, not enough connection. Diamond, she wasn't picking up on social cues. Ashanti, no connection. And Emily was a bit standoffish. Standoffish, okay? It's a difference between slim muscle build and just lanky. I need some type of frame. Yeah, swimmer. A swimmer who got some depth and some, a swimmer's frame is good for skinny. But I understand. I fell in love with a short man. Now I have a short grown son. Quay, why did that come out like an oxymoron for me? A short but grown son. Being short has never stopped a man from getting a woman and kids. You better preach when in Rome. That never stopped. Because you know what? Everybody's same height horizontally. Well, most. Most are the same height horizontally. That ain't never going to stop it. Okay? Never going to stop it. So we got our bottom 4. These folks are on the bottom. Dominique, Emily, Richie, and Devon. Tommy said, all y'all going home. But that was a twist. That was a twist. Their journey ain't ending, but it should have ended. If they wanted a twist, they should have just ended it right away. They should have just ended it right away. Yes, the same heights in the sheets. Yes, same height in the sheet. When you lay down, everything gravity takes everything down. Emily could never drown with them things, ever. Ever. The lifeguard don't have to pay attention to her. Okay? The lifeguard don't ever have to pay attention to her. She got it. Okay? She got it. She has been duly blessed. And for me, sometimes, I have a girlfriend that is that blessed. And, sometimes there's, back issues and other things. So I definitely understand the troubles that Emily may be. But that's not all that she is. And as I said, I think she came dressed like this with a purpose. For a purpose. Okay? For a purpose. And I think many of the men failed because Vince is like, all he saw was eyelashes and décolletage. Okay? Vince failed it. Just like Vince failed the reading the name and the tattoo test. He failed that too. So again, what are we doing? But Dominique is the one on the bottom, not Vince. So I'm wondering if the other men also felt the same way about Dominique. I don't think that Vince swayed them, but I'm wondering if Vince kind of talking about her exes and the level of status she's used to being with top athletes, if some of the men kind of pull back because none of them are top athletes. And I wonder if that's why Dominique is on the bottom. But hey, Bello likes her, really liked her on the mixer that we saw, but he can't be the only person to save her. Okay? Okay? You think that Emily's a plant? A very common blue eye spirit, Carmen from DC? Or was it Potomac? They had the DC and they had the Potomac. I think she was Potomac, but it's the same kind of thing. But yes, I think she could be a plant. It could be like, daggone it, why y'all need me to go here? Just because I'm single, I'm gonna do a couple episodes. Okay? Ain't nobody around here that I'm really feeling. I'll be here. But y'all, as we said earlier, unfortunately, we are going to follow this journey of Richie. I was really looking forward to Richie's journey, but we found out, unfortunately, his services for his homegoing, his sunset service was in May of this year. Some people sent me the program for that, and definitely Richie, I was really looking forward to his journey, all because Richie had, had a special place for me, just like Dono, the mathematician. My girlfriend has vitiligo. If you're looking at the discoloration of his hands, around his neck, by his mouth, and I believe some at his eyes, Richie has vitiligo, or had vitiligo. And Richie, I was really looking forward. I was so glad to see someone with vitiligo on a dating show. I was so enthused of seeing it. Yes, we see it every now and again, but not as a, topic of conversation. I'm on her board of directors, and I was so looking forward. I contacted my friend and said, oh my gosh, we have representation for vitiligo out here on this show. I was looking forward. I said, girl, if it's anything, Richie, yes, Richie. Unfortunately, that is the news we saw, that Richie passed away his homegoing services were in May. That's several people sent me, people sent it to me. So I don't know how long he lasted in the process. His family, some people saying that they were his family, made postings on Facebook. We don't know how long he stayed in the process, how, OWN and Ready to Love is going to handle this, but definitely I will continue to recap it. Right now, he is present in the show, and we will recap what we see on the show. Okay? We saw Dominique in the previews. It looks like she could be around for a while, just like Sahara last season. I could see them keeping her around. She's attached to famous athletes. I could see them keeping her around. I don't think he's going to last long, but I'm going to see how they treat him. Hey, Plain Janie, I see you kind of got on in here. Glad to see you. I'm going to see, how this goes on. But I definitely was so looking forward. I so wanted to, interview him. If not, put him in touch with my girlfriend and her charity for kids that have vitiligo, adults that have vitiligo. And because it's such a stigma attached to it. And I was so happy to see someone representing for the community right there. My grandma had vitiligo, just learned about the name and more about it in the last 10 years. I can bring my, I'll see if my girlfriend would like to talk and do an interview with me. He was young. Yes. Richie is one of the young cast members. And let me see how old they say he was. Let me see how old. I believe, I can't remember. I think he was in his 30s. Yes, he was 38. He was 38. I don't know if he was 38 at the time, but he was 38 at filming last year. But his service program showed this year, May, was his homegoing service. But yeah, I may bring my girlfriend on. As you said, Miss Mad About Music, many people don't know about vitiligo, and it is a lot of information out there. But Richie, I was really excited and looking forward to seeing his journey. And I was really excited and looking forward to talking to him. And it ain't gonna happen, unfortunately. But we will watch this journey of all of them, and I'll pay close attention to Richie. Yes, he's young. He's a tattoo artist. There was so much about Richie. I was like, yes, yes, Emily, I understand that Playboy tattoo, all that, but I was so looking forward. Yes, Minnie, a successful model with it. Yes, Minnie. I forgot her last name. She was on America's Next Top Model. Yes, 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 definitely. Thank you, Lydia A. Yes, definitely. I almost said Minnie Driver, but it's not Minnie Driver. There's a young lady who's an absolute delightful model. But yes, there's so much to learn about vitiligo. When I see people out in public with vitiligo, Winnie, thank you, Winnie. I flipped the W to M. Winnie. That would be great to have my friend. I'll ask her. I'll send her a clip of this and ask her to come on. Winnie Harlow. Thank you, Quay. Thank you so much. Yes, definitely. I was looking forward to this. So much to learn and know about vitiligo. Every time I see someone with it, I approach them very gently in public, because sometimes there's a stigma and some people are very harsh, not understanding that it's a depigmentation of the body. What we learned here in Atlanta, Emory School of Medicine, the dermatology area, when they did their studies, they realized that it is a depigmentation due to organ stress. So there's so much I want to talk about vitiligo, and I was hoping to do it with Richie, but he can still be the catalyst for conversation. So when in Rome is bringing us back, like, who do you find attractive? Because I know your taste is different. So let's bring the whole cast back, okay? And y'all can certainly put in a chat who you find attractive in the cast. So let's go with the ladies. Yeah, Winnie did get engaged, and I believe she does have a child as well. Okay. Okay, cast now. And Miss Mad About Music, if I'm not mistaken, I think vitamin E it's a deficiency as well. But I can get my girlfriend on. She can talk all about it, and I can give you all the correct information from a source. But for the men, okay. Yes, when in Rome, I have different tastes. Okay. I do like, he need to fix them braids. Carde, you need to have all the braids the same color. Okay. Carde, Richie, Richie. Okay. Again, y'all, the thing is, Cardi and Richie have the look of Mr. El Cid if he had his long hair. I met him when he was bald, but Mr. El Cid had hair, natural hair as long as theirs. Okay? And if he still had the braids, it would look like Cardi. It would look like Cardi and Richie. So definitely. Okay? Steven, Steven, you look good. I don't like the sweaters, but sweaters can be changed. But Steven is a handsome man. Ed is a handsome man. Ed is a handsome man. Okay? Um, that's about it for me. It'll be Cardi, Richie, Ed, Steven. So you see I'm different? You're right. When in Rome, you know you're right. Okay? Lydia said Steven, Bello, Ed, and Darius. Okay, hey, Darius, it's going to be the flashiness for me. I need to be able to sit in a corner sometimes, and Darius he need to be seen. Okay, he need to be seen. Vince, okay, somebody like, okay, I think Vince look a little scared to go to Africa. None of the guys tickle my fancy. Okay, Miss Mad About Music, we ain't mad at you. Okay, Ed, Chris, and Xavier. Don't cover your face, Quay. You better say it. You better say it with your chest. You better say it with your chest. We ain't fighting over nobody. I said, go take a nap, because no. I said, my husband looks as a mixture of Cardi and Richie. Okay? So that's why those two men. Okay? Cardi looked better without the braid. Yes, I don't like his hair braided all the way back. I don't like the straight back braids. But the plaits, it got to be one color though. But when his hair is pulled back, yes, he did look very, very put together. Oh, maybe Ed. Okay, maybe Ed. Vince and Xavier and Bello. Okay, you like Vince? Okay, Xavier and Bello. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I like Vince's personality. Quit. I'd like a new set of men, please. We can't get rid of the whole set of men. Now, y'all, I did leave Chris on the side. I did. Chris, you know what? Chris is, a handsome looking man, but I like Chris's charisma. When you saw Chris approach a woman, I was like, okay, Chris. Okay. Devin and Cardi are handsome, but need some grooming and tightening up. I understand. They do. They do. I'm with you. Devin needed to get a little line up, okay? Looks like only Vince. Hey, K Sharp, glad to see you. Come in late, but none of the guys tickle my fancy. See, K Sharp kicking in the doors as usual. None of them. I like Chris. He's intelligent. Yes, I do like Chris. But here's the thing. I need to know Chris. Here's the thing, Chris. I've had many a friend marry and date chefs, and y'all are a different breed. Y'all are out there. So I need to see how Chris is out there. I'm sorry, y'all, chefs, people in the kitchen like that. I need to know, because chefs are different. I need to know how different Chris is. His approach is debonair. But again, I need to know how you are. Richie seems aloof. Really? I thought he felt a little more, I don't want to say juvenile like, but he seemed very, very juvenile and, upbeat, and not juvenile to say he's young, but very young personality. You like Vince so far? Okay, Vince is getting a lot of points out here. Vince is getting, Vince has, when he smiles, he looks nervous. When Vince smiles and he tucks his lip in, I'm like, ugh. It seems like he's pulling in because he's nervous. Vince needs a little more confidence. He does. You love chefs, Nola, darling? They're a little odd to me. What you mean about you? Girl. The chefs that I have experienced with my girlfriends dating, they're odd in that they run their life like their kitchen. And life ain't your kitchen. So I need to know that Chris is not running his life like his kitchen. I need to know that Chris is not running his life like, yes, chef. Yes, chef. Everything ain't yes, chef. Remember, I'm food motivated. Sure, chefs are all winners with me. Quay, Not Chris is your favorite because of the food. Christina's face card never declines. But she said many people can't handle this level of pretty when in Rome. Okay? Can't handle this level of pretty. I like Chris's looks too, but I hope I like his personality later. I'm hoping he don't run his life like the kitchen. Yeah, Vince is nervous. I love chefs too, but they have some personality traits that can be weird. Thank you, K Sharp. So I'm on a podcast. He seems to have a lot of confidence. Okay. Y'all, To Go to Africa told us that Lauren has a podcast and Vince was on there and Ed was her co-host. So definitely I'm gonna go over there and look at it. But we are watching this live on Friday at 9 o'clock. I have the live on at 8:45. We'll get in, get ourselves together, and make sure we hit the refresh and we'll watch the show and we'll cut up in the chat like we did the first time. And I also do Love is Blind reunions live watch. Okay. I'd end up cussing it's out. Blue Bell, no. I wouldn't cuss him out. I'll be like Donna. I'll roll my eyes and keep it pushing. You can't cuss him out. You need his vote. That's why you can't cuss him out. You need his vote. Okay? I've been spoiled by chefs and men in my family cook. Okay, Nola, darling. You have a different experience. You're used to it. You have been groomed well and raised well. Let me say it better. You've been raised well to be with a chef. I haven't. It is childish as hell. Oh my God. I gotta go there when in Rome. I didn't know she had a podcast. Let me be weird. Over some Alfredo. Feed me fruit. Hey, it better be a kicking Alfredo. It gotta be a kicking Alfredo, okay? Let us be weird. Yeah, it gotta be. I have eclectic taste. I have eclectic taste. Everything is different. Everything is different. Okay. Everything is different. I don't know why this dismiss. I don't know why my phone is telling me a missed call that I sent it to voicemail. I don't know why it's telling me. Do I want to check on it? Let me borrow one of the chefs. No, borrow that on it, Quay. You are food motivated, aren't you? Ed definitely wasn't checking for Nicole back then, and I bet she gave it up to him now. Girl, get some standards because it's not a prize. Hey, when in Rome, I said the same thing to her. Act like you don't know that man. I say, where do I remember you from? Remind me. Oh my gosh, Ed, yeah. Let him stand back because he wasn't making eye contact. He wasn't flirting. He wasn't doing any of that to show that he has any interest. He's interested in her vote only. That's just my humble opinion from this edited show. So it's funny, but so childish. None of them give marriage material at all. And y'all, here's the one thing I like about Darius. Darius, you and your silk blouse. We all had crushes back then, but yeah, now let him come to you. Yes. Good time watching it live with y'all on Friday. Yes, we had a good old time watching live Friday. Here's a good thing I like about Darius. Darius, if y'all pay attention to Darius, he tells us when they're mixing and matching. Because at some point, Darius takes his tie off and he unbuttons a couple shirts. And when I see him there, I said, oh, is that the after? Okay, is that the after? Darius tells me, Darius and his switch up on his clothes told me, oh, this is a little different right now. This was probably after Tommy did this because we saw him all put together. That's all I'm guessing. We had conversation. I said, oh no, baby, let it go. Yep, we had conversation. She didn't even know he moved in. He moved back. And I was like, no. I mean, if the crush still looks like Morris Chestnut, then yes. Give it up the first time. But if not. But again, if Morris Chestnut passed you by and he's still passing you by, you got to let him come to you to let him show it. He does have interest this time. Some things he's off about Darius. He's the king. Was off is, he's a little bit, shine bright like a diamond. He's a little too flash, at least for me. Some ladies like Darius, his personality and his flash and his pizzazz and all that. My mother. But my mother's a pageant girl. My mother loves that. She would want to step out with Darius, step out looking like this and that. I mean, that would be my mother's style, not mine. When Darius checked Vince in the preview that Detroit came out, we can't wait for that. We can't wait for that. What about Devon? Here's here's the problem I have with Devon. Here's the problem I have with Devon. Okay, y'all listening? Devon reminds me of the fellas I grew up with. Devon looks exactly like one of them. And you know when Jill Scott says, act like it don't stink, but it does? Devon is like one of my homies I grew up with. I'm talking about from Pampas. And I'm looking, and that's when I look at him that way. He looks just like him. He just, Devon looks a little fuller in the face. But y'all, the ladies, I have to say again, the men came out on top. The men came out on top because the ladies are flawless. I'm sorry, I don't like some clothing choices for the ladies, but the ladies are beautiful. The ladies are gorgeous. Okay? I ain't rocking the red hair like Ashley. I ain't gonna be rocking that kind of outfit like Christina or like Emily. But the ladies are gorgeous. Okay? The ladies are gorgeous. You want to see Darius pillowcases? You mean the silk ones? You mean the silk ones, Quay? You want to see them, or you want to also smell the aroma, the cologne of it all? Okay. Darius show off rich, not wealth in my eyes. Here's my problem. Darius is following in the footsteps. Yes, all the women are pretty. Darius is following the footsteps. Remember, we also had a luxury car salesman on this cast before. Okay. Houston, the resort. Okay. And when I see luxury cars, I'm like, no, your predecessor done edged this out. I think most can agree that the men in Detroit are better than what we saw in Philly. Gorgeous is a stretch. I'm not seeing it. Okay. When in Rome, I like the ladies, but again, that's why I said I'm so glad I wasn't born a man, because I could see beauty in every one of them ladies. Every one of those ladies. I said the taste in clothing for this outlet, again, I may be projecting because I wouldn't wear most of these, but the ladies are fine. They are fine. Oh, I like Steven somewhat. His photos didn't do him justice. Yeah, his photos don't do him justice. I need Steven to put that arm down. No, I don't like him. I want to see the dye stains from his head and face. No. Quay talking about Darius. She wants to see the dye stains from the Beijing of it all. Oh my word, Quay. Oh my word. Pretty ladies, but if we're going to judge men on everything, then we have to hold the ladies accountable. Bad fashion, bad hair, bodies, but everyone looks decently good. I won't hate. Okay. But that ain't hating. What's that? What's that? It seems as though the women get set up to compete for the men. They do. Me too, but Gordon, I don't know. I just love ladies. I love the feminine form. I love the feminine wiles. I love how they express themselves. Even as y'all say, Emily ain't smiling, but Emily has a, how can I say it? Charlotte's web. Come into my web, said the spider to the fly. That, you see, that part of her personality, absolutely love it. But that's just me. That's just humble me. I just think all the ladies are gorgeous in a different way. The men, again, I'm looking at the femininity of the woman. The men, have I dated some? Yeah, but I have grown and matured. I just said aesthetically looking, Richie and Cardi look most like Mr. El Cid. Okay? Aesthetically looking. If Mr. El Cid had his braids, he would look like them. A little lighter in the tone, even though he tries to tan every day. A little lighter in the tone and the structure and the whole beard thing, that's Mr. El Cid. Again, that's why I'm kind of drawn to them. I'm not saying you have to like them. Okay? I think most of them are pretty. I don't like a lot of them are very, I like that a lot of them are very smart brain-wise. Right. But where's the mathematician man? Okay. Where's Donna's counterpart? There's some bad fashion on the lady side for sure. Yes. Bad fashion for sure. And if when in Rome, you want me to say it? Okay. You want me to say it? Okay. Christina, I didn't like the outfit, how it caught under the arm. I didn't like that she put her arms up and it was very, very tight under the arm. That's why I tried to put her behind so you don't really see how tight it is. And as a plus size girl, I'm very much aware when something is tight and causing, a little bit of extraness under my arm. Okay? When in Rome is making me do this. I also told y'all Dominique needed to cover up that tattoo. But she is the fashion maven of Detroit. So what do I know? What do I know? But I wish she would have covered it up. Ain't nobody got nothing to say. But hey, it is her body. It is her choice to wear what she wants, as with everybody. Now, the color schemes, I really didn't like Ed's color scheme, but the ladies liked it. But he had a lovely detail on his jacket. Hey, is that what it's called? Hangage? Okay, then hangage. Darius is the type to leave that beard residue between your legs, and you would think you started chafing. The beard residue, not the dye residue too? The one that thought she was cute? Yeah, Christina. That's Christina here. Christina. A groupie. Oh no. Emily's the absolute worst. She needed better foundation undergarments. Hey, she's a seamstress. I wish she wore one of her designs. That's my thing with Emily. I wish she wore one of her designs. Maybe we'll see it coming up. But yeah. Diamond, I think it looked like 86 prom. Diamond's dress, and then when we saw the fringe side slit or side dress, I was like, no. But Diamond, yes, she's a beautiful looking woman. Okay, she's a beautiful, but she carries herself, beautiful looking woman. That's why I said Donna is beautiful, but the way she carries herself, that's slouch. I don't know if it's tried to be less intimidating to the men. We all have our ways, okay? Was Ashley rude to Devin? I didn't like her comments. I didn't like Devin comments. How about that? If you are allergic to a dog, you have to know the dogs that have fur and dogs that have hair. And I talked about that earlier. Devin didn't know the fundamental that the Yorkies have hair and not fur. I need him. I would have been like, Ashley, I need to walk away from this man because he don't even know what he allergic to. Maybe that was her. Boobage was too much. Maybe that was hers. Diamond is pretty. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She definitely is. She is pretty. I just think the dress was 86 prom. Donna was a simple black dress. I wish she would have done something a little bit different, and we find out she and Darius were wearing velvet shoes together. Okay. When in Rome, I see you capping for him. Okay. Now everybody doesn't know about dogs. I understand, but if you're allergic, you're gonna know. If you're allergic to dog fur, you better know who the hypoallergenic dogs are, that you ain't got to be scared. Okay? Come on now. Now, yes, Ashley's a little off-putting. Now, what I started with saying, I got a side-eye production because a couple of the ladies, y'all were full on looking at them. Y'all were full on the camera looking at them, and many ladies were wearing shorter skirts. And there were a couple of scenes where you should not have been filming them front and center. And production, for y'all to have missed that, that's where I'm going to have my foot on your neck. For you to have missed that, we needed a prayer cloth, or you need to film them at an angle. That's where I got issues with production. That should have never made it onto my television screen. Ever. You don't got to be around them. Bello, you're not sure about? I'm not sure about Bello because I don't know if when Bello's like the family name is synonymous with, I said, what legacy have you created? I understand your family's legacy. That is beautiful. That is wonderful. You have a family with a legacy. What are you, sir? Who are you? And how are you adding to that legacy? Donna had the blonde sideburns sticking out. It upset me. Quay, I was hoping not to talk about that. Yes, Donna had blonde sideburns. She and Cardi, they changed their hair color. They should have worn certain things on TV. Never worn certain things on TV. Yes. Ashley is a pretty local Detroit girl who never left and thinks she's the best looking thing walking. Girl, please. I don't know. I don't know. Is Ashanti the same? All she ever well, I'm not saying all she ever been. All she talking about is Miami that we heard. It could have been a longer conversation, but we could say the same thing with Ashanti. She says she's a tick tick boom. She's a firecracker. She said that. She did say that. So is it Ashanti only been to Detroit and Miami? And as you said, when Rome said, yes, those blonde sideburns, I didn't know what that was exactly. Right. I was almost, when pull back too much, or if you do, when I used to do dye jobs at home back in the day, you forget to catch all the way down here. You forget to catch the sides. Okay. I've seen better at Family Dollar. Didn't like Ashanti either. So yes. Oh, daggone it. Daggone it. The ladies are okay. The ladies, I really like. Okay, Nicole, I need you to recover. Nicole better not be chasing after Ed this season. I will be mad. Nicole, if you are chasing after Ed, I would be mad. Please don't be chasing after Ed. Please find some other man. Please. Nicole, you're a good looking woman though, but don't be chasing after Ed. Now, Shannon is fine. I can't be upset with her with schooling, but hey, Devon, usually University of Michigan, usually universities have 75% off, if not free education for family members. That's the only reason Devon should be high up in your books. The fake bougie, I'll be talking about Christina, fake elite. It looks like she will. Diamond is beautiful, but that dress aged her. It did. The color of the dress, I think, aged Diamond more than anything. I think Diamond would look beautiful in colors. And we saw her in her confessional wearing colors and she looked gorgeous. I don't know why she chose black. Looks like she will. She'll be chasing after Ed. Oh, golly. Yes, he'll use her for a vote. I said, let her get what she wants. She had dreams about that man in college. Let her taste it. Let her taste it. Speaking of that, when in Rome, I have one of my unsolicited advice. This girl ended up, licking the wrong lollipop. It wasn't her boyfriend's. That's in one of those. Okay. Xavier isn't ugly, just looks older. He's not ugly. Yes, he just looks older, but he's not the aesthetic look that I like. But he seems to have a personality that, I don't know. The joke didn't land with Lauren. It didn't land with me. It's like, how much do you want it? No, that's something for you to tell me on like a second date. Okay. That's for me. Tell me on a second date. Her own. What are you talking about? But yes, Lauren does have a podcast, we heard, and that Vince was on it and Ed is her co-host. To go to Africa if you can. Is it Access Lauren on YouTube? But definitely he's soul food. Okay. Definitely we'll be back next week Tuesday to cover no, her boyfriend's lollipop, Nola darling. She was licking the wrong man's lollipop. It wasn't her boyfriend's. For YouTube standards, I could only say certain things. Okay. No. Bluebell. We ain't going there. Xavier is a man's man. These other men don't have it. Stop hating, El Cid. Stop hating. I'm not hating. He's aesthetically pleasing to somebody. And to you when in Rome and to other ladies in here. His voice is wonderful. To go to Africa. This is Lauren's podcast. Lauren on the show. Lauren, who is the 6 foot woman. And with her adult children. I'm loving the age of this cast. Some of them are in their 40s. I love that they're grown. I would enjoy talking to Xavier. I would probably enjoy talking to him, but romantically, no. But he could, everything could be different. Y'all know based on the shows, we are given personalities. Xavier is given to us in a certain manner. So we may have this thought of him. and he may become endearing to us. Next week, I may be like, okay, Xavier is really, really nice, and and next week it could be, this Friday, it could be like, daggone it, Chris, why you had to say that? We are spoon fed, and this is not indicative of these people. As I say in the beginning of my show, in the 30 seconds coming, I said these shows do not encapsulate the entirety of these people's personality. We are just given snippets, and it's to get us to react in a certain way. So everything I'm saying, it's on an edited, produced show, and is also on not only a produced show, it is also just 5 or 10 minutes of a conversation. She's a good hostess so far. Okay. I like the genre. Grown too. I wish they did a whole 40 plus now. Y'all know Love is Blind. Brazil was the over 50 people. We had a good old time. When is Mr. Elsay going to come on the show and get messy? I'm trying to get him to talk. It's going to be members only though, when in room. It's going to be members only because he don't want to be out here in Gen Pop. He like Christina. He don't want to be out here in general population. I do have a short that it says one of the men in here is Mr. El Cid. You know that guy that goes around dancing and sticks his foot out, on you, on me. Mr. El Cid, they came to his to the gym that he was at, and he's in there. So I just say, oh, Mr. El Cid is in here. You don't know which man he is. Everybody was guessing though. What's the plan, hostess? That was the plan all along. I don't know. I need to see, because Xavier is going to say, I can be petty. So I got my eye on him. Yes, he going to say he petty. He going to say he petty. That's what he says. Oh, this better be good because I'm petty. Everybody have a little bit of petty. I need to see how petty. I'm not going to judge him till I see how petty. Okay? Because I can be petty too. What happened to LRB Italy? The 1st of December, Toya, see? 1st of December, which is a Monday, which is different. We're going to see Love is Blind Italy, okay? Hey, Dina, the Explorer. See, you got a membership. I hope you're enjoying the member lives and everything back there. Over 40s on maps make Generation X and Boomers look bad. Yes, they did. Yes, Gen Pop, no. I'm just using Christina's thing. Mr. El said don't want to be on these social media streets. He don't want to be recognized in public. Xavier did fall for the twirl regret. He did not fall for the twirl request. Lauren was big mad. I was mad. Oh, Toya, see, okay. You getting a gift. You getting a Love is Blind Italy. I will watch it, and I will probably start doing my reviews, okay? That week. Probably one for Monday, one for Tuesday, but members will get them early, okay? It's Ina is giving just a pretty face. I hope there's more to her. I hope so. I'm sure she sings beautifully. I love her voice. Y'all talking about Xavier's a beautiful voice for a man. Christina's voice, that husky, oh, yes. Her voice, her speaking voice is wonderful. Yes, Dina, I hope you enjoy it. Love is Blind Italy on Netflix? Yes, all of Love is Blind is on Netflix. I'm covering the Married at First Sight. That's on Peacock. I'm covering Married at First Sight UK, which is, I have a VPN, or you could certainly search it on YouTube. I'm also covering, Love is Blind just ended. I'm watching All's Fair. I know it got terrible reviews. I'm watching the fashions and whatnot. But if you're not sure about watching these shows, in my shorts on this channel, I have clips from the shows, and I give my assessment, 20, 25-second clips of me talking, giving you a 10-second clip of the show, and then me talking, and I got to do it more than 10 seconds so it can, pass all the checks. But if you're not sure about a show, I do have clips and previews in the short section, and members get the shorts first. Hey, Just Angela, glad to see you. I got 2 episodes of Maths UK to catch up on, yesterday's and the one that dropped today. So definitely Married at First Sight UK. I also have those clips as well. But y'all, this has been fun. This has been awesome. I'll be here again next week. And remember, Friday in LSIT Unscripted, we talk about whatever you want to talk about. So come on, when in Rome, bring the mess on Friday. We also have trivia. We also have the year in music. Last week was 1999. The members find out what year in music it's going to be. They find out first. And definitely, we talk about mess. We talk about mess and anything y'all want to talk about. And in Member Monday, we talk grown folks stuff. Grown folks conversation where I could be a little more open with my vocabulary, if you catch my drift. I'm glad I caught it live. This was fun. Thank you, Bluebell. I hope you'll be back. And I hope you look around and see the other things we're doing. Haven't heard any reviews on All's Fair, but I like that show. Thank you, K Sharp. I'm the only one sticking it out because most people tanking it. All's Fair is the one with the female lawyers with Niecy Nash Betts and with Naomi Watts, Kim Kardashian, Glenn Close, Sarah Paulson, Tiana Taylor. It is not LA Law. It is not, you know, Law and Order. It is a very campy fashion show, and it's interesting. But yes, we had a great time tonight. See y'all Friday for the live. Enjoyed. Y'all all have a great one. And as I always say, I'll see you on the next one.